What is up? So, we're going to talk about how to find joy in your movement. I'm going to go grab Katie and then we will get ready to go. Hey, Katie.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Hey, how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Good. It's good to have you.
Yeah, I'm so excited to talk today.
For sure. So, if you're just joining us, Katie and I are both certified personal trainers, group fitness instructors, and we also are very passionate about intuitive eating and intuitive movement. So we both get a lot of questions about how to move intuitively, how to find exercise programs or workouts or movement that feels good for you and that can help you to stay motivated. So I'll let Katie introduce herself and then we'll get going from there.
Yeah, hey, everybody. My name is Katie. I'm a dietitian and a certified personal trainer, as Bethany said. I have a huge passion for intuitive eating because at a young age, I really got into fitness and nutrition, but it was from kind of the angle of lots of restriction, deprivation, and over exercise. So this topic is something I'm super passionate about talking about too, and why I thought it was so fun and appropriate to talk about, because I think a lot of us think of exercise as something that's a punishment or something that's just a thing that we have to check off our list of things to do. And I think, you know, both of us have a lot of things to say on the topic of how you can make it more fun and how you can make it something that you actually enjoy. So yeah, super pumped to talk about it today.
Yeah, so my background is pretty similar. I also have always been very passionate about fitness, but before I discovered intuitive eating and movement, it was very much exercise was a punishment for something I ate or a way to earn food. If I did this boot camp, then I was allowed to have that pizza that night. So although I've always loved exercise, there wasn't a healthy relationship with it and how I viewed it. So definitely excited to talk about that today as well.
Yeah, and I just want to add too. Hey Shay, I see you in the chat. If you guys have any questions, maybe you can just leave them in the whatever you call it, the comment section, and then we can like touch on them at the end.
Yes.
But during this, we can just kind of chat about it. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So if you want to share the first point about gentle movement, exercise, feel the difference, principle number 9.
Yes. So the biggest thing that I found in my own intuitive fitness journey is finding activity that I actually enjoyed. And I feel like that's a thing that people always say, but for me, when I started out exercise, like I was in the era of Jillian Michaels, P90X, and those like workout videos where you're jumping around and like doing like intensive hit workouts. I don't even know if they were hit workouts. They were like constant, like hard cardio. And I thought that that was the only way to be fit or to like have fitness as part of my routine or gain muscle, is by doing the most intensive, like exhausting workouts to where you couldn't even move the next day. And that set me up for kind of this rigid relationship with fitness that I didn't totally love. So for me, finding activity that I didn't dread doing and that I actually looked forward to. So for me, again, things that I didn't look forward to were running and hit workouts, stuff like P90X. But the things that I actually enjoy I found were like low intensity strength training, Pilates, bar, yoga, stuff that was a little more gentle, that I didn't have to just like feel like I couldn't move the next day, you know? So that's one of my biggest revelations with intuitive fitness. I'm curious to hear your experiences too, and like anything else, Bethany.
Yeah, and I think that's why it's so nice that the intuitive moving principle even calls it gentle movement,
Yeah.
because yes, a lot of us have been taught that cardio, that nonstop going is the end all be all of a fitness routine. And even today, as the fitness industry is adapting and changing, and it's moving more towards weightlifting and things of that sort, it's still focusing on that all-out effort, which is good, especially if you're feeling good and you want to go all out. But there are times when you want to pull back a little bit. So
Exactly.
finding a movement, like Katie brought out, something that you can be passionate about. We know that when you don't come from a fitness loving background, it can be hard to follow a program because you're going to lose that motivation that starts in the beginning. So finding something that you enjoy, and movement and exercise can be linked, but understand that movement too can be just that, movement. It can be, especially intuitive movement, from gardening to dancing around to finding something that can make you more active. So like Katie, I came from the background. I think I owned every single Jillian Michaels video that came out. Definitely had every Beachbody program before they were on demand, so you had to buy the DVDs. So it definitely stemmed from that hardcore boot camp style. And I still love boot camps and I still teach boot camps, but in a way where if you need to take a break, you honor that. Or if you're ready to go, you go.
Yeah. And I think like the intuitive part is knowing like what you're feeling in the mood for that day. So one day I may be in the mood for a HIIT workout. I may be into like go all out and like jump around. It's not very often, but typically like just getting a feel for and like asking yourself, what am I in the mood for? And like some days it'll be an intense workout and maybe it's like CrossFit or HIIT. And then the next day it might be yoga, something that really doesn't, that's not known for burning tons of calories, but it's something that you enjoy maybe and that makes you feel good. So really knowing that.
Yeah. In fact, I hope she's still on with us. I noticed she just put a comment, which I know we said we talk at the end, but she said she only has a few minutes. So, yeah, I have my certification to teach CrossFit, but I don't use it. There are so many things in my past that I used to teach fitness-wise that I regret now, which is CrossFit style. It doesn't count unless you're wearing your monitor. All of that stuff that comes from that ingrained fitness culture. But again, finding something that moves you and makes you feel good in the moment and being present. Exercise should be an experience and it should be enjoyable. It should not be viewed as punishment. It should not be something we dread, because it's actually a gift to move your body. Our bodies are amazing and capable of doing the most absolute amazing things. So finding a way that you can move that makes you feel really confident and really good requires being present in the exercise, which means if you don't like it, you're not going to be present. If you're constantly tracking it, you can't move without seeing if you're in your calorie zone, you're not present. So for me, the biggest thing for movement is being present in the moment. How do you feel in the moment? How is the movement making you feel emotionally and physically?
Yeah, you can really get that intuitive sense during the workout too, like you said, of does this feel good? Am I like, is my heart like pumping out of my chest? And again, not that that's bad. It's just that, is this what, feels good to you in the moment? So I love that.
Yeah. And sometimes you're ready. Sometimes you want that heart's about to explode on my chest moment. And sometimes you're like, well, I don't feel it today. And you know what? If you don't feel it, you don't have to go to the exercise class. You can take a day off. It's okay. One day is not going to make or break you. Go take rest. It's okay. Yes. That's coming from 2 certified trainers. We're telling you, you need a break, take a break.
Exactly. I think, people think that just because, we have like a certification in personal training or like any nutrition knowledge that we just think it has to be 100% perfect. And that's like a myth that like we have to constantly dispel, is like perfection is never the goal. It's just finding a healthy medium. Well, I have a thought to go off of what we were talking about CrossFit, because another thing that comes to mind when I think of intuitive eating is feeling proud of your progress and being able to like reflect on the progress you've made. So like maybe strength gains or running a quicker mile or something like that, without letting it determine your self-worth. Because I think that a lot of times in the fitness world, we're very like measurement focused, and we're very focused on, okay, how does this impact my body, and how does this impact how I look, and external stuff like that. And I think there's nothing wrong. There's something to be said about how exercise changes your body, and I think that's a great thing. I'm not opposed to monitoring to some extent, to a gentle extent, how your progress is. But when it comes to always monitoring calories, and if I didn't burn this amount of calories, then I'm a failure. If I didn't work out X amount of time today, I'm a failure. If I go on vacation, I don't work out at all, I'm a failure. So it's a lot of black and white thinking with that. So
yeah, I agree. In fact, that's another point about intuitive movement, is to be flexible. Especially as trainers, Katie probably does the same thing. We have a schedule that we stick to, mostly because we're leading the class. So we kind of have to stick to that schedule. So when we promote if you need to take a break, take a break. Sometimes when you teach it, you don't get to respect that same thing. But being flexible means, let's say you have a dedication, you think, I'm going to move 30 minutes a day, but then you wake up that morning, you don't feel good, or a personal emergency pops up. You need to be able to be compassionate and patient with yourself and understand that this is not a 12-week program that we're talking about. We're talking about finding movement in a way that this is going to guide you through the rest of your life. So it's okay if one day is not what you wanted it to be. Like Katie mentioned, it's not perfection. You don't have to have this set amount of calories or time in a workout every single day. Treat each day as the unique day that it is, and be flexible to be able to go with the flow.
Yes, yes, because and I'm sure you can relate to this too. It, like, back in the day when I was in fitness, I would like pride myself in being super, super committed. And I'm that kind of person. I'm a committed person when I set a goal. But then I would notice, like, reflecting back, I would almost like lose my mind if I missed a day of exercise. And like nowadays I feel like, yeah, like you, exactly what you said, like if I am feeling ill, or if I'm, you know, if something comes up in the family, or if, you know, something just pops up and I can't meet that goal, I'm just like, all right, like, that's okay. I am confident in myself that I can continue going when it's right for me. And there's other priorities in life that I need to attend to right now, and that's fine. So be, like you said, being just gentle.
Yeah, yeah. And exercise is important. I mean, it's our bodies were designed to move around. So it is important to find a movement that feels good for you, but also understand that intuitive means just that. And it's not always intuitive. It can take a while to figure out, you know, what feels good for me. And that's for the food aspect of intuitive eating and the movement. So you really, this has to be a personal journey. Even though you may hire Katie or myself and you work with us, and we're guides, that's all we are. We can instruct you on what to do, but you have to be able to develop the tools to be in tune with what feels good for you. And I promise you, Katie and I will not care if you say, you know, I don't feel like doing that today. Give me something else, and we can come up with another plan for you, because intuitive movement needs to be something that brings you joy and makes you feel good in your body.
Exactly, exactly. Like, I think a good coach, dietitian, nutrition coach, anything, is someone who guides you, and takes that like coach role versus the authoritarian role. So telling you exactly what to do, because we know all day what works for us, right? And like, we could prescribe the perfect healthy diet or the perfect exercise goal. But if it doesn't resonate with you, and it's not including the foods you love, the exercise you love, at the times that work for you, it's just not going to work long term. So yeah, love that.
And I do want to put a little plug in there. She said the times that work for you. Katie and I both have YouTube channels that are linked in our bios, where we have workouts that are free content. So if you're looking for something to do from the comfort of your home at any time of day, you know, there are these resources. And if you don't relate to one of us, there are so many other at-home workouts that you can do that are going to feel really good in your body as well.
Exactly. And yeah, I love that plug. Sometimes it's a lot, it has a lot to do with the trainer, you know, like when you're exercising and you don't resonate with your trainer, that can be another part of it that you just have to like Jillian Michaels is my example, not to like bash on Jillian Michaels this whole time, but I liked her exercises, but I didn't totally resonate with her, because she was like, you know, the drill sergeant type. And I, like you and I feel like we're the intuitive types. We're the types that like want a little bit of like touchy-feeliness in the workouts, and like talking about emotions, talking about this. So yeah, just a side note to that.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And I want our viewers too to understand that Katie and I, we do have a huge passion for exercise. We both come from a background that motivated us both to go get certified to make this our living, our jobs. But we also understand that that's not everybody's passion. So the reason we got together today to do this live is to encourage people that, you know what, find a movement that feels good for you. And if it's not an exercise class, if it's not in the gym, that's okay. Just find something to just move a little bit throughout the day to just feel good, because emotionally and physically, moving your body is going to have so many health benefits.
Yes. Yeah. I love that you pointed out again that like it doesn't have to be structured. Cleaning, like my Apple Watch like will tell me I just did a 30-minute workout when I'm clean, and I don't even like mean to. So it can be anything. And like one more point that I like wrote down just thinking about intuitive eating intuitive fitness is that it doesn't always have to just be, we talked about it doesn't have to be structured. It doesn't have to always be 30 minutes or an hour. It can be 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Just, I think the common theme that we all were like talking about today is just flexibility, kindness to yourself and flexibility. That's huge things that stand out when I think of intuitive fitness.
Yeah. I want to piggyback off of that. I just actually wrote up a blog, and then next week my YouTube talking head comes out on this subject, on principle number 9. So this is actually really good timing. But, diet culture is telling us that we're good. We're good if we obtain physical activity, and that we live in smaller bodies, and that we're bad if we don't. Yeah. But none of that is true. So if you're viewing this video, I want you to know that all bodies are good bodies, and that you are worth so much right now in the body that you're in, whether you move that body or not. None of us are obligated to move. It's your body. You're in charge of what it does. But with that being said, if you want to move your body more, that's why Katie and I are here, is to encourage people who want to embrace that intuitive movement, who want to move past the drill sergeant, as Katie brought out, that hardcore Jillian Michaels yelling in your face, telling you you're not worthy. Yeah, we're really nice. Telling you you're not worthy because you're a certain size. We've all seen The Biggest Loser. We all saw how those trainers treated those people who were trying to just find a healthier version of themselves. Yeah. We don't need to be treated that way. You need to just feel that you are worthy of moving because you are capable of doing amazing things. And that's why we're doing this live today, is to hopefully to motivate you just to find joy in your movement.
Love it. Love it so much. Mic drop.
So Katie mentioned that her favorites were Pilates and strength training. And I've checked out Katie's YouTube channel, and she has some really neat and fun follow along workouts that you can do too that are the Pilates and strength based. So I think it's nice too. I love when trainers set the example that it doesn't have to be hardcore cardio. Yeah. So Katie, I don't know if you want to elaborate on your favorite styles, why you enjoy teaching that, and how maybe that can motivate others to get into that.
Yeah. Well, again, I think it takes time to find like what works for you. So for me, it took a lot of experimentation to kind of figure out what I enjoyed. I noticed myself always like reaching for kind of like the medium to heavy weights, not necessarily like gym workouts. Because one thing that I'll just say, and why I started doing home workout videos, and it's something that I've wanted to do for so many years, and it took me a long time to get the courage to like start posting on YouTube. But I was always attracted to the convenience of home workouts. And with that, I found that I was reaching to strength and Pilates teachers and yoga, just because it was a combination of, I felt like I could do quick, succinct exercise, because I'm not really the workout for like an hour kind of gal. I enjoy having like a realistic schedule that can work for me. So usually half an hour to 40 minutes is about my time frame, but again, I'm flexible. And I just found that strength training most days of the week was what helped me get to that realistic goal of like, okay, I want to work out for 30 minutes. That's my goal. And I feel like I can feel good and come out confident with strength. Now, as far as like Pilates and bar and different things like that, I've kind of been more in the experimentation phase of that, because I feel like to complement strength training, you can't just do it all week long, right? So you kind of have to have, because your muscles get really, really sore. You know what I'm talking about. But for Pilates and yoga and bar, I feel like I can like mix those in with strength workout, but not over exercise, because that's important to me, that I'm not like overexerting my body. So that like it comes from a place of like, that's what I feel like my perfect routine is. So of course that's what I'm passionate about teaching. But I'm curious to hear your story too, and like just hear about why you choose the exercises that you do, because I know you do a lot of boot camps and fun stuff like that.
Yeah, and I like how Katie mentioned about the strength needing recovery days, because
Yeah.
I feel like so many people, they push themselves so hard in the gym because they want to see a difference in their body. But understand that your muscles actually grow during your recovery times, during your rest. So it's important to take that time to rest. On my YouTube channel, I have everything from boot camps to yoga. And the reason I'm passionate about all aspects of fitness is because, well, first of all, there's not just one part of fitness that is the end all be all, that if you only spin, then you are the epitome of a fit person and you're good to go. Yoga and Pilates are all about your core, your fundamentals, your balance, your flexibility, and that pours over into strength training. The more flexible you are, the deeper you can get into your squats. A mind-body connection, which yoga is a huge practice of, teaches you how to be more intuitive with your fitness, and that can go into cardio-based or strength-based movements. So incorporating all aspects, like Katie mentioned, sometimes it might take time. You might have to like kind of just mess around and try this and that, maybe just 10 minutes sample an exercise, 15 minutes here. And it's not a waste of time because it's going to help you find what fits your style the best. And if it is a certain aspect, go for it. If all you like to do is spin on the bike, go to spinning classes nonstop. That's great. Find movement that you enjoy. But if you want to find a really balanced routine, then incorporate aspects of all of it and fiddle around and play and allow your body to recover. And recovery doesn't mean I have to lay in bed all day. Recovery can be Pilates or yoga or going for a walk. You can still be active on your recovery days.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yoga is one of my favorite recovery activities. It goes back to some of the things we talked about. Like, I used to not value yoga. I hate to say it, but it's the truth. Like, I used to not value yoga because I was like, I'm not feeling it. I'm not I'm not like just sweating. My calories on my watch say that I'm only burning 10 calories in 10 minutes. And that used to be the focus. And again, takes time, but just you find out that the more you incorporate a variety, it's better for rest and recovery. And like you said, rest and recovery equals more muscle gain. So even if aesthetics are your goal, and there's no shame in that, you still get that by allowing rest. So I love it.
And I actually just launched a new playlist on my YouTube channel for meditating. And doing research for meditation, it's actually, if you're a physical person, if your exercise is your main goal, yeah, meditation is still important. That athletes who are training, they have to be in the zone, and being focused on a task at hand is a form of meditation. Meditation doesn't have to be separate from your body, separate from your thoughts. It's being present and understanding what's happening in my body right now. Where are my thoughts? How am I feeling? And all of that is part of intuitive movement. So allowing yourself to even to take a step slower, so to speak, than yoga, and to take a moment just to kind of sit, to chill, to maybe even lay down. Restorative yoga or meditation classes, they're not a waste of time because they're going to make you a better athlete in whatever activity you approach after that. So make sure you're making time for that mind body, that intuitiveness is really important as you approach your movement.
Yes. Hey, Bethany, tell me your least favorite workout. I know I mentioned mine. I want to know yours.
So I don't know if I have like a least favorite workout genre, but I will say, and I actually taught a boot camp at lunch, and I will tell you my least favorite exercise of all time is thrusters. I hate them. I hate them so much. Yeah, thrusters.
Okay.
No, if you're just tuning in, thrusters can be the barbell or dumbbell racked position. You have to squat and then pump that weight overhead super fast. They're great. They're great for you. I absolutely hate them. However, because I hate them, and I know this might sound different from intuitive, because I know that they're going to be really good for me, they're going to challenge me, I do incorporate them in a lot of my classes, which if people take my classes, you'll see it in almost all the boot camps. Because there is something about not liking something and being present in the moment that for me personally, and this may not be the same for everybody else, makes me be even more present. If I'm doing something that I really like, I can start, my mind can wander, I can get in the zone. But if I'm like, oh, these stupid thrusters, it grounds me and it keeps me really present. So I don't know if I have a favorite genre, but definitely thrusters are my absolute hated actual exercise.
Well, and I love that you still incorporate them even though you dislike them. Because I think there's something to be said too, because I used to absolutely hate anything that had to do with the core, like planks or just anything that related to the core, because it just didn't feel good. And what I figured out was that I wasn't targeting my core enough doing gentle exercises like Pilates and yoga. So I was going to more advanced moves before I was really ready. And that is what I discovered, like why I hated it so much, is because it felt uncomfortable because I wasn't ready for it. So kind of like being aware of where you're at too is helpful in like exercises that you don't like too. So
yeah, and I think that that's really big too. Actually, it's a second point. I got an article pulled up here too about intuitive movement, and one of the points is to match your favorite forms of movement with your current level of fitness. And that can pour over to everything. Like Katie just mentioned, it could be something that is a traditional gym-based thing, a core exercise or core flow, Pilates, whatever. If it's not at your current level, which only you will know that, it's not going to feel good in your body. But the same is true for any movement. Maybe it's gardening, maybe it's dancing around and stuff. If you're exerting yourself to the point that then you start to dread something that you used to like, you may need to back off a little bit until it becomes something that you're passionate about again. Because if you dread it, you're not going to do it. And we're talking about something that our bodies want to do. Our bodies want to move. They don't want to sit still. They weren't designed to just not move. So find a way and a level of fitness that feels really good for you personally. So I like that Katie brought that out, because that's going to motivate you to want to do it more.
Totally.
Because she went from not liking core to now she teaches Pilates. So you can tell that she found that love for that.
Yeah, and now I look forward to it's all, you gotta know where you're at.
I think that's it for the points I wanted to bring out today. Did you have anything you wanted to add?
No, I think that's it. Unless we have any questions in the chat. I'm not good at multitasking, so I haven't.
I've been trying to watch it, especially while you're talking. I think we had the one comment was from Shay about the CrossFit experience. She also commented she hates thrusters, so like-minded. Thank you, Shay.
Yeah, maybe.
I'll get people to type it in. And if you have any questions, feel free to type them in the chat now. And if you're watching this later, not live, direct message me or Katie. We are here to help you. This is what we do. This is what we're passionate about. So feel free to reach out to us. We both have our YouTube channels, which have tons of free content from, vlogs and video heads talking about intuitive eating and movement. And Shay even does product sponsors. She's got stuff on there, videos about things that she likes. But we also have workouts, follow along workouts. So you can find all that in both of our bios. We've got the links there. So make sure you check it out, follow and subscribe, and we look forward to working out with you guys.
Yeah, and we'd love to do another live like this one. So maybe if we have like a outstanding question that a lot of you are asking, then we can just chat again.
Yeah. And it's super exciting. Katie and I are going to be doing although we live far apart, virtual world has brought this whole world together. So we are going to be launching a dual workout. So make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channels to check that out, because that's going to be coming up in the next couple months. Super exciting. So we'll see how that goes. 2 worlds apart, and yet we can still be so close. That's awesome.
I love the internet for that reason. You can connect with people you never could before.
For sure. Well, Katie, I'm really glad that you were able to do this with me today. And make sure you check out Katie's channel. Check out her Instagram page. Follow her. She's amazing. She's got all kinds of fun and inspiring content. So keep working with Katie and message either of us and wait for our workout. So that'll be super fun.
And I just want to say I'm so glad that you brought me on here and encouraged me to do it live. This is my first live, so I'm so excited. I was going to do my first live last week before this to practice, and I was like too scared to do it. So sometimes I just, we're all about that accountability in the fitness industry, We need that.
If you're on right now, send Katie some love in the comments and the movies.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yes, thank you. And for everyone who joined, thank you. And again, don't be afraid to message us. We're here to help. So, all right, until next time, everybody, be well.